to GP Racing Dream. The next step is the Aprilia RRV 450 GPs at Pembrey on the Thundersport GP package. Steve, we saw a fantastic race earlier on. The championship once again tightening up in the points. It's getting close to the end of the season, but frankly, any one of them could win it.
Yes, I think Phil Canessa will want to try and get himself into the top three this time from pole position, but that's a lot better from James Folkard. He looks more confident. Jake Dixon, of course, getting that win. That'll do his championship a few favours. But as Conor Tagg said in that first race, he didn't have the rubber on. He'll surely have a new rear tyre on now. These are all Bridgestone 1 makes. Could he be up for a win?
Certainly could, and there's a lot more besides. A very competitive grid here indeed, and these lovely little Aprilia RRV 450 GPs have already shown that they are absolutely brilliant around this Pembrey circuit. Away they go then on the charge, and this time a rear-facing camera from number 43, James Folkard, as he gets away down towards Hatchett's.
Yeah, there's Conor Tagg, number 100, just being pushed out, but he's reverted to the inside. It's Dixon with the lead, is it? No, Folkard's got the inside line. A little bit further back. Oh, we've got a faller there. Is that Clinton Carver?
Yes, it is indeed. He just got clipped on his left wrist there, but he just clears the circuit.
Yeah, shame for Clinton Carver, the young rider from Pontypool in Wales. Another newcomer also out in this one, David Allingham from the Aprilia Super Teens. As the riders just filter through, look out for 33. And there's Asa Webb going through. Clifford, there's David Allingham just ahead of Reese Hutchinson.
Yes, great stuff. Lovely to see David graduating from the Aprilia Super Teens, giving these 450s a go. And there's Sam Cox under some pressure from Blake Wools, number 19. Right they go to start of another lap, but up front, the main championship protagonist once more at it like knives. James Folkard from Jake Dixon from Conor Tagg. They're right up there at the moment, and Phil Canessa once again trying to stay with those guys.
Here's the look behind then from Folkard as they make away round to Benny. Double apex left-hander around the S's. Great shots here from the rear end of Folkard. That's Jake Dixon in second. Conor Tagg just tucked in behind. Then it's a right-hander into the S's once more, the second part of the S's, and then into Brooklands hairpin, very close here at the front.
Yeah, it's sometimes you'd rather not have these cameras. That was breathtaking stuff. It's so close. Of course, one of the important things, Steve, about this series, it is, as we've said, a perfect series for Aprilia Super Team riders to move on to. And the great thing is that a lot of these riders have spent the last few years racing really hard and closely together. And it proves that they can do it at this level as well without things going silly, because they have such trust in each other.
Well, just as we say that, I thought they were going to go 3 abreast into Hatchett's, but they have got a lot of respect for each other on and off circuit, that we very rarely see any major tussling or elbows out or anything like that. It's all clean passing, but it's great racing. Jake Dixon has moved up into the lead ahead of James Folkard. Conor Tagg, the championship leader, in 3rd place, but this time he's not lost touch with the leaders. Phil Canessa back in 4th, not quite able just to close that gap. But it's a 3-way battle for the lead, and these are the 3 guys that are battling for the championship also.
Yes, a bit further back, Liam Shelcock doing another good job as he did in the earlier race. He's in the chasing pack, along with the likes of Blake Wools, and Will Hodgson once again making his way through from a lowly grid position. Great to see Will back to something like his racing best, but the leaders at the front just hammering away down that long straight towards Hatchett's once again.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, as we look from James Folkard, closing the door on Jake Dixon, is that he'll have no idea just yet that Conor Tagg has joined in the party also. Number 100 there, and there's that running wide. There's a funny old line into DeBenny and around Club Corner. There's Conor Tagg, championship leader. Lovely riding style from Conor. We've lost sight of Jake Dixon. That means he's probably up into the lead as they make their way into the S's. And if you didn't know about Conor Tagg, he will do shortly.
Yeah, I mean, who's that front tyre around my ear hole? Yes, but there we see in reality how close it is at the front. It still is Dixie there with James Folkard and Conor Tagg. But frankly, once again, in this superb series, this one is anybody's, and around they come back towards this extremely quick run through Woodlands and towards Honda, and Conor Tagg getting up Bit of a charge on against James Folkard, nips the inside line as they go down to the hairpin once again.
Connor Tagg then with the inside line, surely going to make a move up into first position. Oh, and Jake Dixon does. Tagg into third. Folkard's moved down to third, has he? No. Up into second again. This has given Phil Canessa a chance to catch up with the leading trio.
Yeah, every which way, isn't it? You can't really call this one. Dixie still at the front. Folkard second, then Tagg, then Phil Canessa getting his face in there. Phil Canessa, birthday boy on the Monday, of course, but at the front, Jake Dixon getting down to it. They're swapping fastest laps as well. I think at the moment there we see Connor Tagg, number 100. He currently has the fastest lap, but that changes lap to lap. Oh, he's running down the inside again, having another attack on James Folkard.
Beautiful riding there from Connor Tagg. And with fresh Bridgestone on the rear of that Aprilia RRB 450 GP machine. Oh, and Folkard losing a little bit of rear end grip on the exit of Honda Curve. Canessa still in fourth. But, well, this is anyone's.
Connor Tagg moves through to the front for the first time in this and indeed the earlier race. We didn't see him at the front of that one, but now Connor Tagg is showing why he's been up the top of the championship points since the beginning of the season. He's been there or thereabouts. He's still in with a serious chance. And my goodness me, this would do his campaign no end of good, Steve.
Well, Folkard and Dixon are just beating each other up at the moment, and it's going to mean that Tagg's going to have an opportunity. He's got to take it if he can, just to pull away. There's Blake Walls, number 19, currently in 5th position, up ahead of Jordan Hull there, Sam Cox. There's Liam Shelcock.
Yep, Liam, who travels all the way down from Oban, way up on the west coast of Scotland for all these races. A fantastic amount of miles he gets through in a year, but a really improving racer as well, and good to see him out on these lovely Aprilias.
Connor Tagg doing what he does best. Once he's out in the lead, as Folkard moves up to second ahead of Dixon, he just is able to put in lap after lap, and he's pulled a good 5 or 6 tenths on them in that last lap there.
Yep, his position obviously being aided by these two, and this great old bum fight behind. Once more, we sit on the rear end of James Folkard's machine, watching Jake Dixon line him up as he comes up to the S's. Folkard's going to maintain his line, but he can't get through, so there's Tagg in the lead, and now Dixon up in the second, James Folkard in third.
They exit Brooklands hairpin now, flat on the tank, up into top gear. This a flat-out right-hander, not quite on your knee before they go into Honda Curve, and Folkard's lining up a move, not round the outside, surely that will not work around Honda Curve, but Tagg has stretched away, and Dixon and Folkard both in unison, having a bit of rear-end grip trouble there.
Yep, there we see the last lap flag, so they've all seen it, they know that it's one chance, one last lap of Pembrey, Folkard running wide, Dixon taking advantage, and all the while these two are scrapping like a pair of terriers. Connor Tagg just gently get away out the front. There we see Liam Shelcock.
Really important here. There's Will Hodgson also and Tom Striddle. Really important for both Folkard and Dixon to remain on the saddles, because every championship point counts. This is going right down to the wire for 2011.
Yeah, nobody needs a DNF at this stage of the season, particularly if you're in with a shout of championship silverware. And Connor Tagg needs to keep it as smooth as he can. He's only got a couple of corners left. Yes, Connor, look over the shoulder. They're not that close. He just needs to keep it calm. And this one looks like it's going to be a Tagg win. Look at that distance he's pulled out, Steve, while the other two are fighting over it.
He's a man on a mission this year. He was runner-up last year, of course, but this season he is still championship leader. A great win there for Connor Tagg.
Yes, he'll take... Now, look at that. Connor, he is absolutely delighted. And I think it's a bit of relief in that reaction as well, Steve. He didn't have the best to qualify. He knew that he made a mistake over tyres earlier on, but Connor Tagg takes the win from Jake Dixon. James Folkard was third. Then it was Phil Canessa, Blake Walls, Liam Shelcock, Will Hodgson, Tom Striddle, Sam Cox, and Luke Thackeray, 10th. Well, there's the 1, 2, 3 at the front. Connor Tagg, Jake Dixon, and James Folkard. With the championship standings, you can now see that Connor Tagg has taken over at the top from James Folkard, and Jake Dixon. Still plenty of fight in this one, though. Sam Cox and Blake Walls locked together in fourth.
Connor, well, what can I say? You are the Nike missile. Tell me about it.
I don't know. I was kind of sat behind them for a bit and they sort of gapped me, but I was caught back up with them, and as soon as I had the chance I tried to pull a move on them and like try and head out the actual battle.
Pull the pin again.
Yeah, it was just trying to be constant laps and just try and be quicker and quicker, just trying to improve myself each corner, and I'm glad it happened, like actually worked, and I got a lap record, I think.
Oh, excellent, that is superb, well done. And who would you like to thank, mate?
I'd like to thank my mum and dad, because I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them, and PP Construction, because they're a big help to my racing, and Ian and Myra for setting up the Aprilia Challenge, and Thundersport for letting us in here, and all the crew and camera guy and Sid, and just Nitro for helping me with levers and helmets, because it really has helped this year.
Excellent, very well done, Connor.
Thank you.
Jake, that was just unbelievable, wasn't it? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a brilliant race. Like, me and Full Card were battling, but then Connor came past, and there was no one was going to live with Connor this race. So fair play to Connor, and fair play to James. We all rode brilliant, really. So yeah. Well,
that's very magnanimous of you. But who would you like to thank?
Just my team for getting the suspension set up this weekend. It was good for the first race, but not so good in the second. But that's you can only work on that. So cheers to Buttons, my dad, Graham, and just everyone who's supporting me. So thanks to everyone.
Fantastic. Thanks ever so much, and very, very well done. James Fulcard, third place in the RRV 450 Challenge. Unbelievable race. Your heart must still be beating.
Yeah, I'm sweating past myself as well. Awesome ride for Jake and Connor as well. You know, we were just on it. Obviously, Connor got a really good setter for the last one. There's no keeping with him, to be honest, even if me and Jake weren't battling. It's just solid drive from all three of us, really good racing.
Unbelievable. Who are you going to thank?
Minards Pablo Solicitors, best for motorcycle accidents, which does happen, unfortunately. So that's minardspavlo.com. Blue Flame exhausts, which are perfect as well. Bridgestone, all the Marshalls, all them as well, of course. And obviously my team, Dave rebuilt my engine, and all sorts of stuff. Just Dave being perfect as always, and Les and me family being here as well, and you know, all that. So perfect, brilliant weekend.
Excellent, well done, James.
Well, that's it from GP Racing Dream, the next step. From myself, Robin Murphy, and from Steve Day. We'll be back with more great action after the next rounds at Brands Hatch.